Let's roll, nerds. Okay, Brock, you got an arraignment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's rock and roll.
Good morning, how are you?
Hey, what's it, man?
Mr. Louis Etchelberger.
Come on out.
7 and 8.
Sorry.
Do you mind? Oh, yeah. All right, so you are Mr. Etchelberger.
Yes, sir.
So you're charged with two cases. You're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're also charged with criminal mischief. In those cases, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, law enforcement officers were dispatched to a disturbance call in Harris County, Texas, and made contact with a complaining witness who stated that on April 28, 2025, she observed a prior resident, the defendant, caused damage to the apartment complex after a breakup with a significant other. The complaining witness stated that the defendant broke 3 flower pots and damaged 3 trash cans for a total of $405 worth of damage. On April 29th, the defendant came to the leasing office and demanded property that was left. The complaining witness asked the defendant if he was the one that caused the damage. The defendant stated he was not. Complaining witness and a witness then tried to get the defendant to leave due to him causing a disturbance. Defendant pushed his way through complaining witness and a witness. A law enforcement officer on scene serving civil papers attempted to detain the defendant. The defendant was able to get away and run from that law enforcement officer. The defendant was later detained when other law enforcement officers arrived on scene.
So the mischief, it's at an apartment.
That's correct, Your Honor.
His apartment?
I believe he was a prior resident of the apartments, Your Honor, and the property belonged to the apartment complex.
And that was my question this morning, Your Honor. I haven't stayed in an apartment in a long time, but typically apartment complexes don't give their property at a residence specific apartment complex.
You mean furnished?
Furniture, it's flower pots. I mean, why would an apartment complex have their flower pots out in front of a resident's apartment?
What all was allegedly broken again?
3 flower pots and 3 trash cans, Your Honor.
Are you saying it belongs to him? What are you saying?
I believe it belongs to him or to the partner, the former partner, the leasees, the people that lease the actual
Because
premises.
if it belongs to the other person, then it's a criminal mischief. You can't break someone else's property.
But he's not the complainant. The complainant is the leasing manager for the apartment complex. They're alleging that the property belongs to the apartment complex.
Your Honor, from the DEMS, it says that each 3 trash cans were $35 each. They're placed outside for residents to use for trash bags on all 3 levels of Building 8, causing the property to...
So it's like, it must be, cans that offices put out there in case anyone needs to put trash in or whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
As far as the interference is concerned, that I may have a problem with.
I don't see how that was interference.
Because what would they possibly put him in custody for?
So, Your Honor, just to clarify, I'm not, what the DIMS say, and they go to great lengths to explain this, is that there was a deputy there who was serving some sort of civil paper.
Sure.
And that he had to stop serving the civil papers to go to
chase him.
the defendant, because the defendant, there was a disturbance in the leasing office. And at some point during that disturbance, the defendant got away from the deputy who was serving the papers.
Correct.
It's not really clear from the information, is the serving the civil papers and having to stop that duty to go detain the defendant, or is it the defendant getting away from the deputy, if that's what the basis for the interference is?
And that's correct, Your Honor. Richard and I spoke about that this morning.
So you don't think there's PC on the interference?
I don't think there's PC on the interference, honestly, either way. If he's trying to serve papers.
I think I agree with you on the interference,
Yes, Your Honor.
but I think that there's PC to go forward on the criminal mischief.
Yes, Your Honor.
No?
I'll dump the interference.
So I'm going to find no probable cause to go forward on the interference. I don't think that they had a reason to, have you in custody or for for you to interfere with.
Yes, sir.
I will find that there's probable cause to go forward on the criminal mischief. Is he staying there now or is he gone?
No, Your Honor, I think both individuals have moved away from the apartment
Okay,
complex.
so, Mr. Eichelberger, the only thing I'm going to ask you now, well, I'm going to order you is not to go back to this place, not to have contact with the complaining witness.
I understand.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond, not to be in possession of weapons as well. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Brock and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. Just stay out of trouble. Don't pick up any new cases. I don't want to have to put you in jail. You
understand.
become a danger to my community. It's not going to go well for you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for now, I'll have you go to Victoria Sign and Reset. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box while I get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it. And then after that, you're free to go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Marco, do you have an emergency?
You are here, Guzman?
Sorry.
Mr. Guzman, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with assault of a family member. You're also charged with driving while intoxicated. On the assault case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. And on the DWI, you're facing up to jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 29, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle with an expired registration and initiated a traffic stop. The law enforcement officer made contact with the defendant driver and observed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage. The defendant admitted that he had an open container of an alcoholic beverage in the back seat and admitted to drinking 2 to 3 beers.
While driving?
It's not clear as to when the drinking occurred. I'll check further in the dim summary. The law enforcement officer found an open 16-ounce Miller Lite can, half empty and cold to the touch under the driver's seat. The law enforcement officer observed the defendant to have unbalanced and a strong odor of alcoholic beverage. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 4 out of 6 on the HGN, a 1 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 1 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to providing a breath sample and blew a .112 and a .111.
Right?
Yes, sir, that one is open. And we need
Whoa. Whoa, so that was an open case.
Listen, Judge? That one was a open warrant for a few months. A non-arrest?
Okay, do you mind reading me what happened on the assault, please?
Absolutely, Your Honor. On March 1st, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a family assault. A law enforcement officer met with the complaining witness who stated that the defendant is her ex-boyfriend. The complaining witness stated that they got into an argument over the complaining witness's inability to make him a sandwich. The complaining witness tried to stop the defendant from leaving, but the defendant closed the door on her hand. Later, the complaining witness was holding her child when the defendant bit her, causing bite marks and a bruise. The complaining witness stated that the defendant has assaulted her before, but she never reported it.
Mr. Guzman, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case on both cases. I am ordering you as a, can you look to see any prior DWIs, please?
Yes, Judge.
I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I would think that it's freaking elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving. I am now taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive for any reason. I don't care where you have to go. I don't care what you have to do. I don't care that you have to work. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 kittens. You get into a car and drive. You will be signing an affidavit. This is a promise you're making to me that you're not going to drive. If you do, every single time that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand me? I think that there's probable cause to go forward on your assault case, and I'm barring you from having any contact with this complaining witness. There is a protective order that has been issued in this case. Get to know it, because if you do something to violate the protective order, the state can and probably will file additional charges against you. A violation of protective order, and that is the capital murder of misdemeanors. Mr. Guzman, I'm going to protect every single person in this county, whether they're on the street, whether they're on foot, whether they're on the house. And if you become a danger to my community, I only have one place for you. And I don't know who you have in this life, but if I put your bond at 10 to 20,000, if you don't have anyone to pay it, you will be stuck like Chuck in there until these cases are over with. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Any prerogative, yes?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Guzman, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? I can have you fill out an application. I need to know everything about you. How much money you have coming in, what you're doing, what kind of car you have, any kind of retirement. I need to know everything about you, and then we'll take a look to see whether you qualify. Don't be a danger. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You get no more warnings. All right, Deputy Miranda.